I sat next to Mick, a metre away from him for 6 to 8 years, and of the 15 or so funniest moments in television, I think Mick was involved in about 13 of them. I can remember one day he was on his way to the airport, he'd forgotten his passport, he went home to get it, and then he left it in the cab. I remember one day his wife Lee rang me asking where he was, and I had to say that he was in Dubai. He'd just forgotten to tell his wife he was going. He was a very, very funny man, a very thoughtful man, and just one of those great people, Kenny.
Indeed he was. What will his legacy? I've got an idea what his legacy will be as a reporter, because he was one of the very best.
Oh, Ken, that ability to understand people was just so redolent in Mick's work. We had some great reporters on Sports Sunday, Jeff Hutchison, Charles Morton, Stewart. We had Jeff Hutchison, and all of us knew that we stood in the shade where Mick's touch was concerned. That humanity led him to the margins, but his background as a financial journalist also meant that he could chase down a money trail or an information trail and make very important people very nervous. But when he went out to the margins and did those sort of left-of-field stories, that's when Mick was at his most brilliant, because he could get even the shyest person in the world, as I said, to come out. And we're going to show you a few excerpts of Mick's stories. He played the harmonica too. They put Mick's harmonica on his coffin on Friday at the funeral. This first story is about a sheepdog trial, and we'll go through to the break. I'll say goodbye from Singapore, but Mick Meagher, an enormous loss to his family, Lisa, Didi, Max, Ollie and Rory, an enormous loss, unfathomable grief, and an irreplaceable man. Let's go to the break now with some memories of Michael Meagher.
Maybe, just maybe, inside one of these heads ticks a brain the equivalent of Albert Einstein's. But if it's true, the animal in question isn't letting anyone know about it.
Sit, you mongrel, sit!
Like all sports, sheepdog trialling involves a circuit. Not as glamorous, though, as the golf tour, but for dogs, the big chance to prove themselves. This meet in orange decides the country's supreme champion. The dogs are nervous.
At least they keep your wheels clean, Laurie.
Yes, it stops them from rusting out, but they generally rust out in about 20 years.
That's no problem, then, eh?
Yeah. I wouldn't need that if I was you.
They've been here too?
Yes.
Thanks, Laurie.
Having infiltrated the notorious French security here at these Olympic Games, I'm now only metres away from where the biathletes come in to shoot their targets. They should be just over this right.
Mick Meagher's stories sang with dry humour and insight.
A lot of us are wondering exactly what goes through the loser's mind as they approach this halfway point here. Well, I'm waiting here for Diane Ogle, who should be with us in a few seconds. She's sliding through this course, remember, over 110, close to 113 kilometres an hour right at the moment. I can hear her coming here. She's only seconds away. Diane! I'm sorry, Ken. Obviously, she didn't have the time right now. We'll try to catch up with her later, maybe after the race.
He was a racing tragic, profiling the great horses and trainers.
Because I think you are a man of passion, but...
well, racing's my whole life. It's in your blood.
I never had any... I never actually had a cricket bat. I never had a bike. All I had was my pony.
You didn't ever play?
No, I never mixed with kids. I mixed with men. And actually that's what brought me up tough.
He kissed the exquisitely sensitive spot beneath her ear, then bit gently down the ivory length of her throat, Ockie, until he reached the pulse throbbing in the delicate hollow at the base.
Mick's farewell to the great octagonal was perfect.
No longer capable of thought, she yielded to the lash of merciless pleasure. That's the way. That's good. Excellent. Straight from the horse's mouth, you can take it that Danehill is fit and raring to go.
By raring to go, Mick meant Danehill's day job as the king of sires. This was brave stuff for a sports show, but brilliantly handled.
There's not much time for foreplay here.
No, there's not, no. It's business, you know. It's all business for us.
Nor did Mick forget the frustration of the little teaser pony.
There's plenty that's bizarre about this engagement, but no more than the teaser. The pony employed to make sure the mare's in the mood.
But he's never going to get what he's really after, is he?
No. Unless we find maybe some willing little pony somewhere along the line at the end of the season.
Mick was there when Jelena Dokic arrived in Australia as a young girl and when Kostya Zhu came from Siberia. Mick's forte was the one-on-one exchange. We learned much about the great John Eales when Mick charmed his 93-year-old grandmother, Nona.
I was spoiling. John. Darling. He's a dolly boy.
What do you feed him?
Feed him spaghetti, milk, anything nice.
Finally, there was Mick's stint as a fancier.
What about this one then, what?
Cock, I think, Michael.
What's wrong with a cock?
Well, you're really looking for a hen.
Yeah? OK.
Mick bought Lofty the pigeon and handed him over to trainer Bert Wilson.
You just do your best. I don't care where you finish, OK? Because I really do love you, mate. Come, give us
Lofty didn't make it home from the big race. Only Mick could turn such a defeat into priceless humour.
God bless Lofty.
Yeah. There's many more of them. There's plenty out there with him.
Yeah, exactly. He's only one bird among many.
Yeah. But he just didn't make it on the day. His last race, he was in his second pigeon home.
A lot of good that does us now, Bert.
Yeah.